All right, we're taking a look at Astralon. Again, one of the coolest looking champs in the game now, in my opinion. Ridiculous skin. And he's actually pretty good. He's actually pretty good for a number of reasons. So we'll talk about his skills real quick. Then we'll talk about how I built him and why. And then we'll talk about masteries. And then at the end, there's just kind of a montage of him doing damage in arena with his A3, A2, and A1, just so you can see a little bit of the damage output from each skill with the way he's currently built. Then I throw him on my Ice Golem team. I throw him on my Dragon team, let you see a run of those and see how he contributes. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But on his A1, he's got a defense break. And you know I'm a big fan of an A1 defense break. That helps you keep defense down up on the bosses if your runs are a little bit longer. Or you've got someone like, War Maiden or Zargala or somebody putting up a defense down on a cooldown. This dude's not doing that. He's got it on his A1. It's going to be pretty easy for him to keep it up. It's a decent enough chance, 50% chance with skill ups. Not too bad for an A1 defense down. If you've got Countess Licks, she'll team up. Most of us probably are not going to have Countess Licks, right? So either way, great skill. Number 2, A2, is attacks one enemy, ignores defense buff, strengthen, and ally protect. This is pretty handy in a number of scenarios. Arena especially, but there are situations in some of the waves in Doom Tower and in the dungeons where these things can be problematic, so it's nice that he can cut right through them. It does pretty good damage too. You'll see in Arena, I use it once I slow it down a little bit. He smacks a Brago, I think, for a pretty good chunk of damage. If he kills someone with this skill, he revives a random ally with 40% HP and places a shield equal to 20% of their max HP. Also places a shield on himself if he kills someone. So it's not unlikely that this skill will get a kill, and it's got a revive and shield buffs, right? Pretty handy. On a 3-turn cooldown, skilled up is not bad at all. Again, the damage output is pretty good on it. A3, bit of a specific mechanic in the first part, and it's going to be handy when it's handy, right? Things like Duchess and there are going to be specific situations where it's going to be very handy. Even without that part of it, it's a really reliable stun, right? It's 100% chance to stun skilled up on a 4-turn cooldown. This is really handy, and you're going to see this come into play a lot in the clips from Arena where I'm hitting with his A3. I'm trying to get a good average of his damage with the A3, so you're going to see a lot of that. He's landing the stun just really reliably, and on a 4-turn cooldown, this is going to be really helpful. If you're not speed running the dungeons yet, this is going to help you lock them down pretty well. You can turn cycle, especially if you're running a good booster, if you've got an apothecary, or maybe you've got your arbiter already. He's going to be able to pump this out pretty regularly. And again, skilled up, it's a very reliable stun if you've got the accuracy on him, because with the skill ups, it's just an accuracy check, right? It's going to proc. So then it's just an accuracy check. Very helpful. You'll see too in my dragon run, I just swapped out, I don't even remember. I think I swapped out him for Royal Guard, right? So it's my speed team minus Royal Guard. And in the second wave, he throws up a stun, which it can step in and allow your team to cycle back through. I have a Kymar, so we're refreshing in the second wave and trying to get through. He throws up a stun that allows my team to do their thing without taking any hits, right? There's no danger. So it's handy even in those situations too. It's still a pretty fast run even without Royal Guard. So that's pretty nice. And then his passive is pretty cool too. Fills his turn meter by 3% every time an ally is hit. Decreases incoming damage by 25% if the attacker's attack is lower than this champion's. And that's going to come into why I built him the way I did. It's a little bit of a different approach to a nuker, but I thought if I want to guarantee that this passive is going to take effect if we have to take a hit from someone like a Skull Crown or something like that, I wanted to be sure that this would proc. So that's why we did it the way we did it. I will probably play around with him and try some different builds, go higher crit damage and things of that nature. But for now, we just went with this. So we've got Cruel, we've got Accuracy, and we've got crit damage. Like I said, I wanted to get a balance of damage output with utility. I wanted to land that stun. So this is what we went with. We built him pretty well. I tried to really stack him up a little bit. Now, we didn't quite hit the crit rate, but that's fine. You don't have to have 100 crit rate when you're building somebody, right? And quick, we'll thumb through the gear real quick. We got a really good crit rate sub on this weapon, which is why he's wearing it. We got a really good crit rate sub on this helmet, which is why he's wearing it. And a little bit of speed here, a little bit of crit damage. Of course, speed on the boots with good accuracy. The boots could be a lot better. The boots leave something to be desired, but you know, we got what we got. Again, attack cruel armor with pretty good crit rate and some speed. That's not bad accuracy as well for him. And then I went attack on the gloves. And again, this is because I want the passive. If he has to take a hit, I want to be sure he's going to have higher attack. So going attack on the gloves, and still being as close as we are to the crit rate threshold or 100 threshold. And then the crit damage is low, but again, you're going to see still pretty good damage output. I'm going to play around with him some more. We'll talk about him later, I'm sure, in future videos. But for now, this is the build that we're showing off in this video. Little crit rate, little accuracy. And then down here, we've got accuracy, crit damage, and pretty good attack sub on that ring, which is why he's wearing that. So it's a little bit of a balanced build. I wanted him to be able to take a little bit of a hit. I wanted him to have high attack, and then we still tried to get the crit stats up. Accuracy's in pretty good shape as well. Again, not the only way to build him. You can go full crit stats and not worry about the passive, but I kind of wanted to see how I felt about this build. So that's what we got here. Masteries, I went with this, and it's a little bit of a different path than I tend to take on the attack tree. I don't know that I've ever given anybody this setup, but I wanted Helm Smasher on him because I like Helm Smasher. Crit. There's an argument to be made for crit damage here too, especially if you're going attack on the gloves. But I wanted to play around with Helm Smasher, so that's what we did. I've got him placing shield on himself if he kills someone. His damage ramps up for kills that he gets. So if he's like in dungeons, if he's getting kills in the waves, it'll up his damage output a little bit at the boss since he's not doing max HP damage or anything. But you'll see he still does pretty good damage. And in the Ice Golem run, pay attention to the first hit on the first wave. His AoE, it almost looks like a Royal Guard hit. Like, it's crazy how much damage he puts out with his AoE on these waves. So pretty nice. Here I've got damage for each dead ally, damage ramp up for each dead ally because he's got that revive. So if we have dead allies, I want that A2 to get a damage bump in any way I can get it because I want him to get a kill to pull off the revive and, you know, get someone back in the fight. Higher max HP. He's a nuker. Enemies are more often than not going to have higher max HP. We gave him some more speed for each person he's killed because we want him turn cycling to get around to the revive quicker if we need it. And then the rest of it's fairly standard. And then over here, again, just accuracy, Lore of Steel to bump up his stats a bit, and speed for each dead ally. Again, he's got a revive. We want him getting turns as much as possible if we have dead allies, right? So this is it for this video. Again, we're probably going to take another look at him because he's kind of an interesting champ. And there's a case to be made for, you know, different builds and different approaches. So we'll probably do another one at some point showcasing crit damage and putting more emphasis on utilizing the A3 mechanic with the Veil and Perfect Veil and seeing if we can't make use of the revive on the A2 a bit more. This video was more of damage showcase, right? Wanted to talk about him a little bit and then just show off the damage that he can output in Arena and Ice Golem and Dragon. We didn't mess with him in Fire Knight or Spider. So again, I like him. He's interesting to me. We're going to take another look. But let's go ahead and hop over. Now I'm just going to shut up. I'm going to put a little music over the the montage of damage, let you take a look at that, and that's going to be that. So I appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, let me know how you're feeling about this champ, what you're doing with him, how you like him, how you built him, if it's different. You know, I'm all for more information down there in the comments. So that's it. I'm done yapping. Enjoy the damage montage, and we'll see you next time.